What is the difference between color correction and color grading? These two aren't the same. One tries to recreate reality, while the other intentionally alters reality to create a mood. And this is exactly where the image transitions from being realistic to being cinematic. Color correction is a technical process, not a creative one. When the camera captures an image, the raw signal usually has some deviations. The white balance might be a bit too cool, skin tones might have a green tint, or the exposure could have lost some of the details in the image. Correction means fixing these deviations so the image gets as close as possible to what was actually present in the scene. The goal of color correction isn't to make the image look prettier or more cinematic. The goal is for the image to be technically correct, balanced, and reliable. Up to this point, we haven't even started designing the mood of the image yet. This is where a question usually comes up. If we're going to correct the image anyway, then why shoot in RAW or log in the first place? Because in RAW or log mode, the camera preserves more light and color data from the scene, even if the image looks very flat, low contrast, or even broken at first glance. But in reality, this file provides the colorist with more room for precise correction and professional control. In other words, we intentionally don't record a finished image so that we can accurately reconstruct it later. Color grading starts exactly where color correction ends. Here, we're no longer talking about being correct. We're talking about designing emotions. Take that same corrected image, now make the shadows cooler, and a sense of loneliness is created. Make the contrast heavier, and the image enters a state of tension. Warm up the highlights, and a feeling of nostalgia and peace takes shape. None of these changes are wrong, and all of them are conscious and intentional. Color grading is about taking the image out of technical reality and into emotional reality. And the order of these two steps is more important than the steps themselves. If we start grading before color correction, we're essentially painting on an unstable foundation. Color correction fixes the image, but color grading designs the audience's perception. And it's exactly at this point that the image transitions from being realistic to being cinematic.